Hey folks, Mike Johnson here. If it's got wheels and an engine, you're in the right place. On this channel, we dive into car repairs, maintenance tips, and everything you need to keep your ride running smooth. If you're into cars and want to keep learning, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. All right, enough talking. Let's get into it.
Replacing a brake caliper is pretty straightforward, until you get to the part that's bleeding. Then you'll need a friend, and maybe a lot of patience, to finish the job. Fancy bleeding tools also help. Brake caliper replacement costs. If you decide to have your caliper professionally replaced, which is a smart move if you're unsure of your mechanical prowess, expect to pay anywhere from a few $100s to over $1,000. It's certainly not a brutal change, but it's better to have brake problems if you do the job incorrectly. On the other hand, if you're handy with a wrench, brake caliper replacement is usually a fairly straightforward task. As mentioned, the most difficult part of the job is bleeding the brakes after replacement. Replacing the brake caliper. Now for the fun part, a brake caliper replacement. Are you ready to grab a wrench and get dirty? Good. Before you start, though, keep in mind that all vehicles are different. Be sure to follow the repair information for your specific application. Repair manuals, such as those from Chilton, are useful, but an ALLDATA subscription is even better. ALLDATA offers single vehicle subscriptions for do-it-yourselfers that provide detailed factory repair information. Note, the following are general guidelines for educational and entertainment purposes only. Consult your vehicle's factory information for specific repair instructions and recommended safety precautions. In addition, this generic guide covers front brake caliper replacement. Rear caliper replacement procedures are different. Before you start replacing your calipers, keep in mind that all vehicles are different. Be sure to follow the repair information for your specific application. Removal: put on your safety glasses. Use a cutting bar to loosen the lug nuts. Do not remove the nuts completely at this stage. Lift and support the vehicle safely using a jack and jack stands. Chock the rear wheels and apply the parking brake. Remove the wheel nuts by hand. Then remove the wheel and tire assembly. Place a drip tray under the caliper. Warning: a brake fluid is corrosive. Keep it away from your car's finish. Unbolt the brake line from the caliper. Set the banjo bolt and sealing washers aside. Connect the brake line using a brake hose plug. This is to prevent brake fluid leaking out during the repair. If you lose enough brake fluid, the master cylinder will drain, making the brakes more difficult to bleed. Remove the caliper mounting bolts. Remove the clamp by pulling it up and away from the rotor. If the caliper is stubborn, you may need to use a large screwdriver or pry bar to remove it. Remove the brake pads from the caliper, only necessary for fixed calipers. Installation 1. Prepare the new caliper for installation by following the instructions included in the box. 3. Install the brake pads in the brake caliper. This is only necessary for fixed calipers. 4. Position the new caliper on the rotor. 5. Tighten the caliper mounting bolts, using a torque wrench according to your vehicle manufacturer's specifications. 6. Remove the brake line plug. 7. Reinstall the brake line with the banjo bolt and new sealing washers. Replacement calipers are usually supplied with new washers. Use a torque wrench to tighten the banjo bolt to your vehicle manufacturer's specifications. 8. Refill master cylinder as required. 9. Bleed the brakes either manually with an assistant, or with a special tool, pressure or vacuum bleeding. You must bleed all 4 brakes, not just the one you have serviced. The procedure generally starts at the brake caliper or wheel cylinder, if you have rear drum brakes, furthest from the master cylinder. Typically, the sequence is a right rear, right front, left front. To bleed your brakes with a buddy, and make sure the master cylinder is full of fluid. Attach a rubber hose to the end of the bleeder screw and make sure it fits snugly over the screw nipple. Immerse the other end of the hose in a transparent container, like an old water bottle, partially filled with brake fluid. With the engine off, ask a helper to depress the brake pedal and hold it down. Ask your friend to tell you when he holds the pedal down. Using a wrench, open the bleed screw but do not remove it. Tell your assistant that you have opened the bleeder. Let the liquid flow from the bleed screw into the container. Watch for air bubbles entering the container. When the liquid stops flowing, close the bleeder and tell your assistant it's closed. Your assistant can now release the brake pedal. Note, you'll need to keep an eye on the master cylinder fluid level during this procedure. Air will be drawn into the system if the master cylinder runs out of fluid. Repeat the procedure until there is no more air coming from the bleeder. In conclusion, changing a brake caliper may seem daunting at first, but with the right tools and a step-by-step approach, it can be a manageable task. Remember to always prioritize safety by using jack stands and wearing protective gear. Regular maintenance of your braking system is crucial for your vehicle's performance and your safety on the road. If you found this guide helpful, consider subscribing for more automotive tips and tutorials. Thank you for watching, and drive safely.